Welcome back, everyone. Boy, oh boy, do we ever have a great show for you, constant and faithful listener. Today we're talking about the film that's all the rage around the nation, Uwe Boll's Citizen Vigilante. Minions.
Oh.
A Citizen Vigilante. Oh shit, did you watch Citizen Vigilante?
Citizen Minion? Oh, whoops. You said Minions.
Oh shit, dude. No, I didn't. I said Citizen Vigilante. Damn it.
Check the texts.
Let's just talk about Killer Clowns again. Let's just do it.
I have more to say.
Yeah. Boy, I have tons and tons of things to say about that fucking movie.
Where do I begin again?
But in all honesty, today we are talking about Citizen Vigilante, and I saw that I told you before that the famous podcast Trap House did a review on it, and I was annoyed that we didn't get ours done first, but whatever.
Yeah, I never heard of it.
Yeah. But I kind of listened to it a bit, and then I was like, maybe I shouldn't be listeting to it. So I'm just going to start.
Is that primarily just a movie review podcast?
No, it's mostly a politics podcast, but
okay.
But they talk about they seem to be
current events.
They seem to be film buffs. Yeah, and also like I guess sort of it's a dovetail situation because Citizen Vigilante is sort of intrinsically political.
Sure.
And but one of the comment, all this is amounting to just me going into the comments and me seeing
white Twitter is all a buzz.
Right, white Twitter, aka regular Twitter, just default Twitter. But one of the comments was Citizen Vigilante is actually a bad name for the movie because the guy's not even a citizen. It should be called Vigilante Visa.
Right. That might be like the least of the criticisms of the movie.
Yeah. Hey, wait a second. I read online, and this is something that was also mentioned, but you know, it begs to be mentioned that the film's original title was The Dark Knight. Did you read that?
No, I didn't read anything about it.
Oh, did you read that there's an appearance by Chris Titus?
He's making a comeback.
Chris Titus is making a comeback. First of all, let's talk a little bit about Uwe Boll and our respective experiences with this sort of oddball director. You start.
Oh, me?
Yeah,
I don't really know what to say.
Well, what movies have you seen?
Other than Citizen Vigilante, I've only seen House of the Dead, which was like 20 years ago, whenever that fucking came out.
You saw it in the movie theater?
I doubt it. I probably just rented it from Blockbuster or something. I have no memory of it other than the main actress in it. I remember she had nice cans. But and I also just remember that it, like, because he had so much notoriety as being like the worst director in the world, and I watched it and I was kind of like, well, this isn't the worst thing I've ever seen. Like, so he can't even like he can't even be given that moniker. He's just kind of whatever, kind of retarded.
I don't know. I remember watching House of the Dead like maybe like a week ago or something, just because sure. I was like, because you said that, you were like, it's not that bad. And I was like, I don't think I've even seen it. But yeah, like it does have a bit of a notoriety surrounding it. But there's like, I put it on and me and Phoebe are watching it. And there's a there's a part where like these two like, you know, young people like Stifler and some broad with fake tits, they go to like it's very clearly shot in Vancouver. Like it's just that perma gray Vancouver climate and just an ugly rock beach, you know, all the entire beach is just like egg-sized stones, you know. It's just the most uncomfortable, lame beach with a gray ass sky and kind of just like depressing colored water. The girl goes swimming. She takes off her clothes. She gets nude, and then she's like, "I'm gonna go swimming." Or she takes off her top. She leaves her bottoms on, and then she goes swimming. And then there's like a bunch of like underwater photography of like shooting her from below, and
Okay.
then you're like, oh, is there going to be like a sort of an anthropophagus situation here where she gets killed? No, actually, the camera kind of reminds us of the guy on the shore, and he just falls asleep. So it's like in the middle of the day, and then like the girl goes out to go swimming, and he's like, I'll just wait back here. And then she's swimming for a bit, and then there's underwater photography showing her, swimming from below, and then it goes back to the boyfriend. The boyfriend has just gotten comfortable and fallen asleep, and it's just like, what the hell?
On the rocks?
On the rocks, just like falling asleep, like when you put a blanket over a parrot's cage, like he just kind of narcoleptically falls asleep. And then the girl gets out of the water, and then it's like the boyfriend's gone, and it's like the whole thing, like right from the get-go. All I'm saying is, the reason I'm saying all this is because right from the get-go, it's just something just seems off, and something seems like incompetent here. Like just the guy doesn't know what he's doing, and you're just like, what? And then the fucking movie starts, and it's like, okay, it's a zombie movie, more or less. And there's not really like any kind of like real main bad guy until later. They start to just introduce this idea of this Spanish, like something that happened like hundreds of years ago. And it's just like some guy. Do you remember all this? Like any of like the story?
I saw, like, when did this movie come out?
I mean, like literally
like 2006 or something?
Yeah, like literally like 20 plus years ago.
So that's probably when I saw it.
Okay, well,
I don't remember anything.
Okay, fine. It doesn't matter. I'll just get through this real quick. So whatever, like that's your sort of like your lore. It has to do with some kind of like Spanish galley, like whatever 1500s kind of thing or something.
Sure.
And then maybe kind of like The Fog, like that kind of same
just
story.
thinking that.
But whatchamacallit? Then okay, so then there's like this big. It becomes nighttime, and everyone gets guns somehow, and then there's this big like shootout. And every time that there's like a shootout, they just start playing just the most like embarrassing like electronic music, like the Prodigy essentially is what they keep playing.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, exactly. And so they're playing like British contemporary club music of the day, and I guess The Matrix had come out 5 years ago, so still very hip to do that Matrix stuff. So, but they don't even like, it's not even for any purpose. Like they just have an actor stand in the center of like that semicircle of digital cameras, and they just have like that sort of orbiting shot of just someone holding a gun out. Like it's not even them doing anything. It's just kind of like, isn't this cool how the camera's moving? And it's like, not really. It's actually not that cool, not if they're not doing anything interesting, if they're just holding and aiming a gun. And then
I think that's something that he continues to do to this day.
Right. Well, I mean,
that's his specialty.
You can't argue with the classics, You don't want to reinvent the wheel.
But the thing is, too, you'd think that, I mean, I haven't seen everything he's done, but you'd think like after 20 years that there would have been some improvement, just by accident.
Yeah.
But
well,
yeah, not really.
So then like, I mean, that's, and then also what has to also be mentioned too, definitely not the person, I mean, we're pretty late to the party talking about how Uwe Boll is like a bad director, et cetera. But like he'll intercut the film with just little clips of the game. Like there'll be just 2-second
clips of the game,
because that's based on a video game called House of the Dead, right? Which is
I don't know. I thought you were talking about Triple H, the game.
Yeah, well, yeah, the game. Well, no, the rapper of the game. It'll just be like a clip, 2-second clip of the rapper of the game throwing up some gang signs. No, but the
no, I had no idea it was based on a game.
It's one of those like shoot, the rail shooter, like where you stand at the arcade cabinet holding like a gun, and the gun's on a little cord, and you just the camera moves through an environment and you just sort of shoot things on the screen. That's the game. And what's actually funny is that the game I think was like popular in I'm going to say like late 90s, like maybe 97 or something. But then he got the rights to do the game, you know, the movie adaptation of it, and the movie came out. I'm not even going to look it up, but whatever. Let's just say like 2003, 2005 or something. And so the game's already old. The game's already kind of like, no one's talking about it anymore. But all you need to do to investors is say, oh, this thing sold, 5 million units, like 5 million arcade cab units. And they don't give a fuck when it was, they don't, they're not really asking any kind of questions. So, and you know what, to be honest,
also that was like part of the whole zombie wave. I mean, it rode that.
Oh, 28 Days Later and,
Walking Dead and, zombies were hot.
I don't know that The Walking Dead was out yet, but I do know that the
book was out and it was
more in the zeitgeist would have been like, the Dawn of the Dead remake, the Zack Snyder.
Too.
Yeah.
World War Z, like it was all happening.
Yep. What a time to be alive. But anyways, so like there's
Shaun of the Dead.
Romero
had come back.
Land of the Dead.
He was making his fucking turds.
Yeah, Land of the Dead and Diary of the Dead. Diary of the Dead actually stars a girl who I went to elementary school with. Her name's Michelle Morgan. She's like a actress, and she primarily had her career in a television show called Heartland, which is like a show that takes place on the plains, like in Calgary or whatever, and it's sort of like almost a precursor to what's that show that we talked about that time with that Taylor Sheridan show, Yellowstone.
Yeah,
it's almost a precursor to Yellowstone. It's like a very kind of traditional fucking living on the plains sort of. Anyway, so whatever, there's video game clips inside this movie that just serve as little interstitial transitions, and it's like, it's just bizarre. It's like the guy doesn't even like, the guy's just throwing everything in there and just kind of it just feels like this kind of methodology where you're just like, well, if we just put all this stuff in there, what the fuck are they going to complain about? Like it's all.
Well, there's also like he has that drive to like, this needs to be cool. I'm making something cool. So, hey, I got an idea. Let's put some little video game clips in it. That'll be cool. The video game's cool. What's so cool plus cool equals cool?
Do you know what is cool? There's nothing more cool than a video game. Children, they love the video game, so
they like the movie, they like the video game. We'll put them together.
we will put clips of the game in the film, and then what would they complain about? So that movie sucks, whatever. And then there's also I watched a movie that he did called Postal, and a lot of people are like, the only good Uwe Boll movie is Postal, and it's like, no, that's not a good movie. That movie sucks. It's like it's like if someone tried to make like what's a good enough? It's almost like someone like trying to make like sort of a South Park like movie, like in terms of like how like satirizing in the same way as South Park, like the same kind of like the methods that they use to satirize stuff, like Paris Hilton is always coughing up cum, like it's very 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 broad and vulgar satire, but he's not clever. What it lacks is sort of like the cleverness of South Park, and also like the craftsmanship of South Park in terms of storytelling. And
I don't think of Uwe Boll as a satirist or a great comedy mind.
No, he's just some weird.
But
dude.
He is one tough guy, man. He beat the shit out of those Rue Morgue critics back in the day.
Yeah, a number of critics. One of which being from famous Canadian horror magazine Rue Morgue. But you know what? I think that even like somebody like that was actually used on the poster of Postal. It was like, if South Park,
from the guy that beat up the film critic at Rue Morgue comes.
This guy kicked that guy's ass, or just this guy kicked my ass, and it's that critic like on the poster.
Okay.
No, I'm talking about the South Park comparison. I think that was actually used as a reference on the as a quote on the poster. But but what I'm saying is, like, yes, that is true, but not in a good way. Like it's in the worst way possible.
Right.
So that movie stinks. Now, there is a movie that he made that I thought was good. And it's called Rampage, and it's not the one, the William Friedkin one, and it's not the one where The Rock is teaming up with a albino gorilla, because there are two movies that are called Rampage. There's this one.
I only know the Friedkin one.
Yeah, the Friedkin one, where there's, glaring. It's glaring that there actually is no real rampage in the film, I think was your main criticism.
Yeah.
So there's this movie called Rampage, and it's about this kid who orders a bunch of like body armor online, gets a gun, like several guns, and then he sort of devises a plan to put on this sort of bulletproof suit, walk through a town, kill all the people that he doesn't like, kill some people that he doesn't know, rob a bank, and then blame it all on...
That's actually based on like a real... Like that really happened in California.
Is that right?
Like but it was two guys, and they were robbing a bank in like that full body armor. And they just walked in the bank, they robbed the bank, and then there was just like this showdown, like them walking down Main Street and cops trying to shoot them, and they're just like walking down the street in their body armor. And
history truly does repeat itself, because, hold on, let me check something. What's the name of that Australian guy from a long time ago who wore body armor? That's right, Ned Kelly. What's the... So that's just a Ned Kelly kind of... like some guy was, I guess, reading his history book or whatever and got an idea. Some bank robber guy.
Yeah, it was two guys. But yeah, and they had like full assault rifles and... I can't remember how they finally took them out, but I think they eventually took them out.
Yeah, well, the thing about this movie Rampage, is the guy, spoiler, the guy gets away with it. Like in the end, he blames it on his friend, and then like the sort of epilogue of the movie is like him at the TV just being like, his mom and dad join him. They come home, and they're like, "Oh my God, Randy, I'm so glad to see you're okay." He's like, "Yeah, Mom. Oh my God, you see what's on the news? It's all over the place. Fucking, Johnson fucking killed everybody." And they're like, "Oh my God." And it's like, "I had no idea." And it's like, "Yeah, he was pretty fucked up." And he's just blaming it on his friend.
Oh shit.
Anyways, so then he goes into his room, and he pulls out like a duffel bag, and the duffel bag is full of like, I don't know, like gold bullion or something. And then,
right.
And then the credits roll, and it's just like, wow, he won, So it's this very nihilistic, he won. He had a plan and he won. He killed all of his enemies, and then he got rewarded in the end.
Right.
But it's actually like a pretty, like, well, like the sort of the tension of it. Like, I think it's just like his best movie, to be honest. And also I do appreciate sort of something that's just unabashedly nihilistic, and where they just have this shitty character. It's kind of an Eden Lake sort of situation, where it's just like these shitty characters, win. But the only difference is that there's not really any good characters. There's not really like any, because like this just is one shitty character who's just killing other people who are just sort of also shitty. Like the guy who won't remake his coffee after he puts too much milk in it, or like some bitch who, I don't know, doesn't sell him the right cigarettes at the store or something. So
like a falling down kind of a situation.
Yeah. But anyways, like I think that movie is sort of good and singular. Like there's not really anything else like it. So, what do you call it? What's that thing? A broken clock tells the time right twice, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Broken clock is right twice a day.
Broken Clock is right twice a day, and I'm still waiting for that other one from Uwe Boll because that's the only one that I've seen that's good. Um,
Hmm.
that's what I would have said until I saw Citizen Vigilante.
Right.
Okay, so let's talk about this movie, Citizen
Sure.
Vigilante.
Go for it.
Would you like to go ahead and begin?
Sure. Um, yeah. So it clearly takes place in Europe because it says that at the beginning. We don't know where in Europe. It just
The
says
continent
Europe.
of Europe.
The country of Europe,
Mm-hmm.
and where everyone speaks English with a slight accent.
Mm-hmm.
And it starts off with like the woman and the kid in the grocery store, and they're buying their groceries, and it's a nice little it's a mom and son relationship, and they're buying their stuff. It's very cute, and then they walk out of the grocery store, and we see a figure approach them, and just out of nowhere just stabs the woman in the neck, just like ripped right out of the headlines, stabbing this woman in the neck, and then just disappears, and we see the woman squirting out CGI blood as the little boy calls to his mom.
Mommy, are you okay? To the film's credit, I don't think it was CGI blood. I think it's actually done in camera.
Really, it looked clearly. It seemed clearly to be some kind of computer blood. Didn't seem like real blood.
Huh. I guess we're gonna have to look.
Or maybe it was a little bit of both, but like the main like squirting of blood seemed to be CGI.
Interesting.
And this attack is just sort of like showcasing in a broad way this is the issue we're dealing with here in Europe. It doesn't have any real connection to anyone, including the citizen vigilante in the movie.
Right.
Like, I think I was initially expecting like, oh, this is his wife and son, and this is kind of, like in the same way when you're watching Death Wish, there's something that sparks the vigilantism, and here there isn't anything other than it's just something that is needed, I guess, and Armie Hammer, who's playing the citizen vigilante, feels it's his obligation to fulfill that, but you never really get a sense of why he feels the obligation to do these things.
Yeah. I will also say that, like, I was really disappointed with that scene, the one you just mentioned where the mother is stabbed in the neck, because the performance from the little kid, I mean, I hate to sort of dump on a little kid, but the performance from the little kid is just really terrible. And I was just thinking, like, how, much better it would be, or rather, like, it's not effective at all, because the kid's just sitting there like he doesn't know what he's supposed to be doing. And he's just going,
yeah, he seems somewhat confused, and he's just sort of, mommy.
Yeah.
Mommy, what's up?
But he doesn't seem confused like a kid who is just, in shock from a traumatic situation. He seems confused like some
he's
fucking
in a movie,
Croatian,
doesn't know what to do.
Yeah, just some Croatian kid who they plopped down in front of some woman and said, "Okay, act scared. Okay, now you act scared. You like pretend this is your mommy. You love her. She's dead now.
Pretend you see blood squirting out. We'll put that in post."
Right. And it's just sort of like, okay, this is not hitting. And there's nothing worse than a film that's trying to do something and not succeeding in doing that thing that it's obviously trying to do. And it, like, that right there, right, is just the there's nothing more clear of an example of that than this fucking opening scene of this movie. Then you're introduced to Armie Hammer, the titular citizen vigilante, who I guess is an American, and he walks around. It's Croatia. You can kind of just tell in the same way that like sort of American sort of cities, you'll see sort of stars and stripes kind of here and there, like in an American city,
Okay.
on someone's shirt or like on a sign somewhere, like in the background of an ad, like you'll see reference to the stars and stripes. Croatia has like a red and white checker, and
Okay.
that's a pretty good indication that like it's okay. This is Croatia, but he's walking around sort of like the depressing streets of Croatia, wearing like just a black turtleneck and sort of a black long overcoat and black pants and whatever. And he looks like like Christian Bale in Equilibrium or something, like some kind of
It's a deep cut.
yeah, or like or Keanu Reeves in The Matrix. Like he's just sort of this like imbecile's idea of a
looks like
cool
Steve
guy.
Jobs going to a going to a TED Talk in Canada.
Right. I think that like the fact that he personally doesn't have any kind of thing that happened to him, like he's kind of that's kind of the most interesting, for better or for worse. That's sort of the most interesting thing about the movie, is that this guy is not a guy who had anything specific happen to him or his family. He's just a guy who just saw shit on the news or I don't know, saw stuff on the newspaper, saw shit in the newspaper. You know what I mean?
But also, like, there's moments throughout the movie where we get sort of we see sort of like his personal life.
Yeah.
And he doesn't come across as someone who gives a fucking shit about anyone.
Right.
Like, he doesn't, not to jump ahead, but we probably the deepest examination of his personal life is we see him show up at an office, and it turns out that he's involved in real estate. He inherited some sort of real estate business from his father, who is dead. And he didn't really seem to have any real relationship with his father. There seems to be a little bit of resentment there. And he's talking to one of the dudes that works for him about like, rent and getting paid, like collecting rent, and the guy's telling him like, well, there's some people who are like late on their rent, and he's just like, well, evict them, get them out of there, but we can't do that. There's laws. And he's just like, I don't care. Just get them out.
Yeah.
And then like, so he seems somewhat draconian and heartless. And then as he's leaving the office, he's like, smells like an old age. What's he say? Smells like an old age home in here or something, or smells like a geriatric hospital.
Yeah.
Time to get some new blood in here. Stinks. Smells like old people. So he's nasty to his tenants. He's nasty to his, the people that work for him. He doesn't seem like somebody who has, who cares about people, unless these people have been assaulted by criminals.
Right.
And then also when he kidnaps that judge, and he has that moment where he literally he drives another car off the road and it explodes.
That's
and he's
that's
just like,
the big one.
He's just kind of like, well, that's just the way it goes. And it's just like, what?
Yeah.
It just seems like he doesn't fucking give a shit. He just killed somebody or somebody's. And it's just kind of like, what is he trying to, like, what am I supposed to think about this guy? I don't really understand.
Well, I mean, like, okay, I was thinking about that, and what this is just like uh, a essentially like Christian Bale's character in American Psycho, but sort of activated by some sort of reactionary politics. Like he's been watching too much of your boy Gavin McInnes on his podcast or something, and
Right.
he's just like, oh, I have a thing that I believe in now, and I have a cause. I have something to direct my energy towards. But really,
But
I
we
mean,
don't
what he
even
is,
like get that. We don't even sort of get that information, like what you're saying right now. We're
yeah,
not hearing him activated. Like when you watch Death Wish or any of the Death Wishes, you know, Charles Bronson is just like, it's played as he's just a regular guy. He's an architect. He's doing his thing. And then all of a sudden crime, really awful crime. His family, his wife is killed, raped or whatever by Jeff Goldblum.
yeah,
And, and now like it's, the reality of life in New York City has come home, and like, what is this normal average guy going to do? Well, he's going to take the law into his own hands. He's going to, he's going to do his thing. Here, you're dealing with somebody who's like, maybe he's a psychopath, or is he supposed to be a hero? It's not clear. And
well, let me like it's not clear for sure. It's not spelled out for sure, but like I do believe, like, for example, like that part where he drives that one guy off the road. He's like driving that judge, and he's like, people here, they follow the rules too much. Here, watch this. And then he goes and sort of gets into the wrong lane, and he drives that person off the road and kills, and whatever, ostensibly kills them. And he's like, see, they would have rather driven off the road than change into the other lane, which first of all doesn't make any sense. I don't understand why, like that prediction seems
that wasn't scientifically accurate experiment.
Well, it's just like it's not really making a good point, like I guess the guy, like it turned out the way that he expected it to, but it's like, I don't know. It just seems like a little bit like a scene that was put into the film in order to make a point, but like then when you sort of scrutinize it a little bit, you're kind of like, that doesn't make any fucking sense. Oh well, let's just keep watching the movie. But that scene, what it does is it adds a little piece of the puzzle of like, oh, this guy is a sociopath. He's just like a guy who
Right.
doesn't care about human life, and he's oftentimes contemptuous of human life. And then also there's that instance where he's in his office and he's talking with his business manager, the part that you outlined before, and he's again talking about sort of his conversation sort of shows just how he just looks at people as just being kind of a burden and a nuisance. And then
Right.
There's that part where he fucks that hooker in the
Right.
that sort of shows just how, I mean, what do I take away from that? Like sort of his any kind, like, okay, so I accept that I do need to have some sort of like intimacy in my life in order to feel fulfilled, but this sort of transactional relationship is really all I'm all I'm equipped to kind of deal with. And then he gets distracted because there's mold in the room or something. They make a big deal out of that, that speaks to me. I mean, maybe I'm making a little bit of a reach here.
Well, not only is there mold in the room, he then and the hooker's like, so who gives a shit? And he's like, well, I own the building. So we learn that he lets out his property to prostitution rings.
Yeah. Like he's not. There's not like anything like. There's not anything.
He's definitely a
like,
very complex man.
he's a complicated man. He's like Shaft.
He's very complicated in that like he's so complicated that he's just loaded full of contradictions that make no sense at all.
He's a contradiction wrapped up in an enigma. He's like a Chris Christopherson song. But I was going to say that. Do you remember in Larry Clark the movie Bully?
It's been a minute, but
you remember though. I mean, I think we might have even talked about it on the show, or maybe not. But Nick Stahl plays like the bully, the titular bully, and they always cut in these scenes where he goes to wash his hands, and Larry Clark gets in there, and he has these like close up scenes with like a low depth of field where the camera is like 2 inches away from Nick Stahl's hands, and he's washing his hands, and it's supposed to sort of give us a little clue about this is sort of some kind of obsessive compulsive behavior that is an indicator of a deeper psychological problem. You know what I mean? Like
sure.
That's what that's for. I think I don't think that I think if you asked him that, I think that he'd be like, yeah, that's what that's for. But I think
I don't remember us talking about this, but.
I don't think we talked about it on the show, but maybe we just kind of talked about it like off the show in our free time,
private lives,
in our private time. But the mold thing, I mean, I guess you could kind of just play it off as like he's a landlord concerned. You know what? Forget. I don't give Uwe Boll the credit for thinking this.
Well, there's other little moments too. Like, remember, he's like at some point he's like walking around a building and he's like looking at it, and then he's kind of like looking at the cracking concrete outside of the building. Like he's taking pictures, and that's when he eventually shows up at the real estate office. He's like bringing his pictures to show the property managers. Like, oh,
right.
Look what's going on with my property.
Right. So, I mean,
like this is like a continuing thing where he's very concerned about his property upkeep. We need to know that.
Right. I don't know. Like, I mean, I think it's like there is an interesting movie about a guy who is a complete fucking monster, like a sadistic monster, who also has a lot of power, who just kind of decides to turn his wrath on Muslim immigrants, you know, like, and
sure.
But I think that the problem with the film is sort of how it's framed.
But you sort of like, you start to get into this complicated, it starts to get more complex because like, if you're dealing with somebody who is just like, I hate Muslim immigrants, then that feels like that's a very specific movie. If it's like, I hate Muslim immigrants that commit crimes or get away with heinous crimes, that feels like it's something else. Because he's not just like shooting or killing random immigrants. He's working as a vigilante, and he's targeting people, and they make a big deal about him like going to the bedsides of victims in the hospital and being like, do you want justice? Yes, justice, give me justice. And then he goes off and gets justice for them. So he's doing like this whole kind of like Batman thing. Well,
that's exactly like that all kind of tracks, like that all fits in. Cause I mean, if he's just going around just like, like using
if this was just like people like attacking Muslim immigrants, then we'd be watching Romper Stomper like that. that that movie is the movie that you're looking for.
Well, yeah, the first little bit anyhow.
But here, the movie's called Citizen Vigilante. The whole begin, like the whole setup of the movie is like crime is out of control in Europe. What are we going to do? We're seeing shots of like the news, the lady on the news reporting the crimes, and we see
people on the internet being like, wow, he's so cool. We love that guy.
Yeah, our Army Hammy is like doing his little TikTok video where he's like kind of only half blurred. You can totally tell who it is. So he's not like fully disguised, but he's like, yes, we need to change things. I'm going to continue to do my vigilante.
Islam is not compatible with the West. We have to pull up the cancer. We have to get all the roots, or else it will continue to spread. I am the cure to cancer.
And then also, something else in this thing that was annoying was the Interpol cop. And like at the very beginning, or I guess like maybe in the first half of the movie, 30 minutes, we just see him in the car driving somewhere. And then we see like these tanks with like soldiers or a SWAT team on the tanks. This literally goes on for this takes a really long time. We're just seeing these tanks cruising down the street with the Interpol cop just driving down the street. They're driving and they're driving and they're driving. And then they show up at his house and we see them go up. They go up the stairs. Like this whole thing must take like 30 minutes.
It goes on for so fucking, I remember also, I told you I was I watched House of the Dead with my girl, and also I watched this with her too. And that like when you're sitting with someone, you're kind of sensitive to kind of like how they're reacting to it, and like sure. I was like, I looked over and I was like, does this feel like it's been going on for like the last 45 minutes? And she's like, yeah, what the fuck? Like, why don't they get to the point? And there's a lot of stuff like that, like in the film. There's just full on technical things of like editing where they just kind of pad things out and just try to reach that.
Totally.
Like there's a part where well, actually you go ahead and finish your thing about that thing with the Interpol.
Well, we're also alongside the roll out to the mansion to capture the vigilante, which takes forever. And then going up into his house and breaking down the door and going in. And we also see Army Hammy. He's like putting together like his whole arsenal, getting all the guns ready for, because he knows that they're coming.
Mm-hmm.
So he has like a little
safe room.
He's building a bulletproof safe panic room, safe room thing. So that like when these guys come into the room, he's just going to fucking turn them into Swiss cheese, which he does. And even that, like, you can tell like this is the whole movie seems to be built around this moment because there's so many glory shots of him just like blowing this SWAT team away. And
yeah.
For me, like, if you're going to make a vigilante movie, you want to see him doing vigilante things to people who deserve it. Right. So it's basically a bunch of like set pieces of like, and this movie does have that. Like it has a couple of those, like the kids on the bus and then the kids, the same kids beating up the kid in the park. And then also the big one at the end when he goes into the home of the family. But it doesn't have enough. Like the fact that we're wasting time seeing him shoot up this SWAT team and go to a hooker and go to his real estate office to make sure that people are evicted. I feel like it just feels like we're wasting time and we're not seeing what we bought our ticket for. We're not seeing what we want to see.
I don't know, man. Like I think that like seeing who this guy is like that's kind of the way. That's the way to making this movie actually a good movie. If
No, but like if you're going to like if we're going to see who he is, it has to connect to what's going on, and all those moments where we basically are seeing who he is, it doesn't track with what is happening. Like he doesn't seem like somebody who gives a fucking shit. Like he doesn't come off as somebody who cares if Europe fucking falls off the face of the earth.
That's
like, he doesn't seem to.
That's what's interesting. That's what I think is interesting, to be honest. Like,
well, it doesn't. Like, I mean, it's interesting in the way that like it seems like somebody retarded made this movie,
like
but it's not. It's not interesting as far as like, oh, this is a skillfully crafted character.
Well, let me draw a comparison back to American Psycho. You know,
sure.
Like if it was in the hands of a more skilled scriptwriter and director, even sort of like the way that he kind of has framed himself as sort of like this hero, it's so easy to kind of just see that as just being like a it's some regressive shit. It's like I'm a superhero, like I'm a Batman. Like it's just some gay ass, like really lame, like adolescent idea of like, how to have meaning in my life or something. And it's like the whole thing's actually like really pathetic, but then he takes that and kind of turns it into something like really dangerous and really, let's just I can't think of a better word, but like antisocial. Like he's going out and he's just like killing people. Sure, maybe they're whatever, bad people or whatever, and and they they are like he doesn't kill anyone or he doesn't like fuck with anyone who doesn't like quote unquote deserve it. But I just
except for that one person he ran off the road.
yeah, that person definitely didn't deserve it. But yeah, like I guess hold on, what the fuck's going on here? Let me just turn this down. There we go. And
I mean, technically, those SWAT guys didn't really deserve it.
Yeah. Well, yeah, like I mean, they deserve it because they're they serve the system that's protecting these goddamn brown animals.
Well, they should have, again, like that is something that isn't really made clear or dealt with. We're just assuming that's what's going on.
Right. And let me just take a second here to say that, like, I'm not defending the film. I'm just saying that, like, that actually is it. It's just not, it's not clear enough. It's not defined enough. Like the guy,
I mean, yeah, maybe like what you're saying, like there's something that could, like, cause I even feel like, okay, there definitely is something I wanted this to be good. Like I wanted to see.
You wanted to be one of the people who was like, you know what? I actually thought it was pretty good.
I did. I really wanted this to be good. I like Vigilante movies, and to see somebody, especially in this day and age, like deal with these issues that are now like forbidden. We can't even like talk about them. And to see somebody address them would be great. Like that would be a great movie. And I feel like this guy missed the mark. It's a like it just sucks that the person who made this movie is retarded and doesn't seem to know how movies work.
No.
It's just it's disappointing. I'm disappointed.
Yeah. Yeah.
Although, like I said, there's moments in it. Like I think that guy Armie Hammer, he's good. And there's certain moments where like there is like really good, some solid vigilante action happening. But I wish there was more of it. And they use their time better.
I'll talk about that one scene. That scene actually bothered me quite a bit. The part where all the SWAT team guys show up to his little safe room there, and he's like, speaking through a loudspeaker, and he's like, I have two, high-powered machine guns aimed at you right now. This is your last warning. I will kill all of you if you don't turn around. Leave me alone. I'm trying to do my vigilante stuff. And then the guy, the leader or whatever, is like, open fire. And then they start firing on him, and he's like, very well, so be it. And then he starts shooting at them. And I mean, here's the thing. His setup to the fucking, the person who hasn't seen this movie is he's behind like a bulletproof wall, like a steel wall that is impervious to bullets. And then he's got two like mounted machine guns with the barrels like poking through, like, so it's like half the gun is going through these slits in the wall. And from a logistical angle, all you have to do is get close to the wall, and then he can't fucking get you. Like, you have to be like you have to be a good, like, at least 10 feet back from the wall for him to have any chance of shooting you. Once those guys kind of just assess the situation, they should get low and just get in close, and then they should start poking their fucking guns through the little holes and trying to shoot him through the gaps. And it's just like, it's the same reason why it's not good to have like a rifle to defend, why a security guard shouldn't have a rifle on a subway car. You know what I mean? If he's a security guy, like, you need to have like a close quarters weapon.
But the thing is, like, the way that this is presented, this whole sequence of the trucks coming down the road and the cop,
that's obvious.
And it's sort of presented like, get ready. You're about to see something that's the fucking coolest thing. You're about to see something fucking really fucking cool.
Yeah.
And the guys come in, and he's just got this little steel hutch that he's living in with his rifle, and then he just blows them all away, and it's just so dumb.
I know, and they like, and the indicator,
and everybody in it is dumb. It's just dumb.
He really reveals his intentions when he starts cutting to slow motion shots of like guys getting blown out, of these, SWAT team guys, like slow motion of like a guy being like, "Ugh!" And then like blood splatting like against the wall. There's even like a full on like gore shot of a guy's head exploding.
Oh, totally. Yeah.
And it's just like, oh, this is the cool part of the movie. And it's just like, nope, sorry, dude. Like,
and then he when the smoke clears, they finally break open the metal hutch he's in, and he's not in there. And then there's they find that there's like a little trap door. He went down, but then it exploded. He rigged it so it explodes, and then it like kills everybody else.
Yeah.
Except for the old Interpol cop that we've been following around.
Kostas Mandlor, who played Kenny Lakos on my favorite television show, Picket Fences.
Okay.
Yeah.
His name sounded familiar. I just couldn't place him.
Yeah, no, he's this Greek beefcake, lamb cake.
But but like the amount of time, like he should have just if he just like was sitting across the street and watched the SWAT team go into his house and then blew up his house, like that would have been like, you could have saved some fucking time.
Or you know what it is? You know what it is? It's what's that guy's name? Oh gosh, the Black Sunday, the guy in Black Sunday.
Bruce Stern?
Bruce Stern. So it's the Bruce Stern nail bomb. He's got the room with like rigged with all sorts of like bombs that shoot nails out,
Sure.
And then it's just like, then it's just like the whole room is just perforated, and then everyone just like, that would be so sick. Like, I mean, I'm sitting there watching this in real time and just being like, that's what this should be, instead of this. And then, so I mean, and then you got to think of like all of the work that goes into like making this stupid fucking wall and setting up the guns. Like, there's all this time that goes into it. You would think that Uwe Boll would have taken a look at it and been like, you know what, let's rethink this. Maybe this isn't the way to do this, But I guess he must have just had that image in his head where he's like, no. It's going to be this him behind this wall. Like he probably just sort of in his mind's eye visualized that scene as just,
first, I want to see the tanks coming down the street, and I want to see them with this, and they cost a lot of money, so we need to see them. We need to see a lot of them, a lot of tank. We need to see, and we bought all these uniforms, so we need to see the men. We need to see glory shots of the men coming up the driveway and then up the stairs and then through the door and then up the other stairs. And it's like, all this is taking away precious vigilante time.
Yeah. Yeah. It bugs me to no end, like seeing people defend this guy, like on Uwe Boll, like on the merit of being like a good misunderstood director. I don't see any evidence of that at all, ever. Like, anything that he does that's like good is just derivative of something else or an accident. Like, right. Like even like he kind of, adopted this, sort of handheld camera thing, I think from maybe watching like NYPD Blue or something, and now he does all of his movies like that. And
Dogma 63 or whatever.
94 or 5 or whatever, 90, but 96, 92. But anyways, sometime then. But anyways, the and it actually kind of what's the word? It kind of struck a or touched a nerve is what I'm saying. Touched a nerve with me because like, I always sort of think that too. Like I'm like, oh, you know what? We'll do this handheld and it'll make the scene sort of come alive a little more. And then you see this other fucking idiot doing it too. And you're like, fuck, maybe we gotta get away from handheld. Maybe we gotta start shooting like on Steadicam more and trying to be a little bit more mannered with the way we shoot films, because if Uwe Boll is getting away with this, and we gotta unilaterally make a decision to kind of like change the way that we shoot sort of the contemporary serious movie, because he just what's it like? It's like when a fucking when you like a band and then some fucking idiot asshole starts liking that band too, and you're just like, fuck, I gotta change my entire identity because this guy fucking is into the shit too. But anyway, fuck. Like, what else is there to talk about about Citizen Vigilante? Like, I guess there's that whole bit at the end where he kills that family, and
right, because that's like the other. I feel like that's the other centerpiece scene of the movie.
Yeah.
And I actually kind of liked that part. I thought it was pretty well done.
Yeah.
Except like I like the sort of beginning part where he was sort of like, he comes in and he starts threatening the family and he gives this little speech. When we start getting into like, okay, call your friends to come on over, we got to like sit around and wait for the friends to keep coming through the door. It's kind of like the Return of the Living Dead, where it was like, well, send more paramedics.
Yeah.
Send more rapists.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're like sending more rapists in, and he just like sits and waits for them and just shoots them as they walk through the door.
Yeah. And the entire time there's like heroic music playing. Like there's like music that's kind of guiding your perception of the film and being like, this is good. What you're seeing is justice, Right. And I mean, I don't think that you're as like, I guess for lack of a better word, like I don't think you're as sensitive to music as I am. Like I'm really, really like, I'm very, very considerate of like the music in movies a lot. And I think about it a lot, and it affects my experience, like a lot, I guess. I don't know. I mean, I don't mean to be, patronizing to you or anything, but you know what I mean? Like that
well, I mean, it definitely can, like, there's like 3 levels. Like there's really good, like there's music that I'm like, wow, this is like a great soundtrack. There's really bad where it's like noticeably like, oh, this sucks. And then there's just kind of like, it's there, but you don't even really notice it's there. And so I think this was that.
Well, for me, it's like
case. Like I don't even remember the music at all.
Yeah. Right. I mean, for me, it's about like, which way emotionally, which way it's pushing, and like, because like that's what you use music for. What's a really cool scene is the scene in Terminator 2 where Arnold Schwarzenegger's in the Cyberdyne building and he's got that minigun and he's firing the minigun at all those cop cars, and he's it's just this crazy scene of just him up there just shooting all these cars and trying not to kill the cops because John Connor told him not to kill anyone anymore, right? And the music in that is sort of this super calm, like this very sort of like calm sort of synth score. If you ever watch that movie again, pay attention to that the decision of the music in that scene, because it's just kind of like it's almost like yeah, it's not quite a do song, but it's not too far off, to be honest. Like it's almost like oh, I see. It's not that one. It's not the da na 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 thing. It's a variant upon that. But anyways, all I'm saying is that like that's a good sort of what do you call it? Where the scene is showing you one thing, and then the music is sort of doing something that at first glance seems incongruous, but it's like it's not. It's more. It fits, but in an unexpected way. In Citizen Vigilante, he's it's him hiding in a closet like a fucking ghoul, and waiting for these two teenagers to come in the door, and then he shoots both of them in the back of the head without even looking them in the eyes, and it's like, and the music's like dun dun dun, like it's like half like what a hero.
It's like a fanfare.
Yeah. It's ridiculous. It's and again, you could make.
It'd be funny if it was like the sound effect of like when Mario jumps on a mushroom.
Yeah.
And like fucking coins would shoot out.
yeah. But one could make some kind of bullshit argument, be like, oh well, the music is like how he sees himself, or some kind of thing like that, like that. It's how it's on some Michael Haneke funny games shit where it's self-reflexive.
You're projecting an intelligence here that is.
No, I'm not, dude. I'm not projecting an intelligence. I'm bracing myself for like the retard's defense of this movie, like
okay.
You know what I mean? Like it's like
I didn't feel like there was anybody who would defend this movie in that way. Like technically, I mean, I could see people I could see people arguing over like, oh, it's racist or this or that, but to argue that this is a competently, skillfully made film, I don't think you can do that here.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
believe me, like I wanted this to work. Like I was all on board. I'm all about like, let's see, I love vigilante fucking movies. And I wanted to see this one work, and it doesn't work.
Yeah. I agree with you. I don't think that we do disagree a little bit, because like I think that this could be a really cool the movie that I think that this needs to be is closer to American Psycho than it is to Death Wish.
Right.
But
I mean, there might be something there, but it's just like you have to, like, it's going to take somebody with a lot more intelligence to create that than UV Bowl.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Maybe that guy from Rue Morgue punched him in the head too hard.
Yeah,
maybe
exactly.
he's the real winner.
Right. Yeah. No. And
it just took 20 years for it to manifest.
Yeah, it's a shame too, because like he's going to get a lot of play, and that this is going to be,
Well, it seems like just based off of the other movies that you mentioned, that like he always is sort of like tapping. He's trying to tap into these like controversial, real life like controversial issues, like going postal or going on a rampage with a full armor bodysuit. Like these are like real events.
Yeah.
And sort of like, oh, this guy's like, he's controversial. He's doing crazy stuff.
Yeah. I mean, they're like, you got to give it to him in a sense because okay, sure. Like, whatever, some guys robbing a bank wearing armor. Okay. I mean, heat, whatever, but it's what makes it different. What makes it different is that the person doing it is sort of just like a stupid idiot who's sort of normal. And
Right.
then they get away with it, and it's sort of like this, extremely like sort of antisocial and like nihilistic sort of tone, which again, I think it works in Rampage. I think I'd even recommend Rampage. I think that you should watch it just because it's sort of like an interesting movie insofar as how different it is. Like, how it throws the audience's expectation of a just resolution out the window.
Right.
But in this one, this Citizen Vigilante movie is like equally as nihilistic, but it's like framed. It's not framed that instead of being this sort of like movie about like a bad, stupid idiot doing a stupid thing for stupid reasons. It's about this like hero guy who's doing this like really cool thing that everyone else should be doing, like,
Right.
And it's like, it's not, and I mean, like I said, I'm not like some kind of, advocate for.
Did you ever watch that show, Dexter?
It's a lot like Dexter, but I never watched that show.
Well, like the
premise,
concept is it's a guy who's basically, he's a serial killer, but his dad, who was played by Ajax from Warriors, James Remar, she basically finds him as a kid and teaches him to use his serial killer abilities to kill other serial killers and hunt and kill other serial killers. And so like there's when you're talking about like, oh, having like a psychopath who's actually like, killing criminals, it just reminded me of that.
Yeah,
to some extent.
Yeah.
But he also is like, he works for the Miami police.
Dolphins.
Yeah, that would have been funnier.
Yeah.
But he's like a blood pattern inspector for the Miami police.
Oh, at Dexter?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I don't fucking. Oh, you mean like he knows about like splatter? Like, oh, there was a sign.
Yeah.
Of
So
struggle.
he works for the Miami police, and then like he'd go to a crime scene, and like he would sort of like look at the blood splatter and be able to tell you like, okay, this person was stabbed this way from this direction, and blood shot out this way.
You mentioned okay, so we've just we rode fucking Citizen Vigilante till the fucking wheels have come off. What kind of rating are you going to give this one?
I'm going to just say 2. 2 eggplants.
You're going to give it 2? Really?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
I really like the level after this conversation, especially like just the level of just disappointment in this. I mean, it's got that fucking what's it got going for it? It's got fucking nothing going for it. Like the action sucks. The character is boring.
Like I said, there's a couple vigilante scenes that were fun. And it just also is just a curiosity. It's interesting. I mean, I feel like it's not so horrible that I can give it a 1. It has just enough that it's 2, I guess.
Okay, I give it a 1 myself.
Okay.
And it's entirely because of it being a curiosity, I think. But I think, you know what? If you'd seen Rampage,
But I mean, I can't argue with your one. I'm not going to sit here and say like I'm not going to try to defend my two. It's just
no, I'm not even looking for that. But I'm just saying that like I think that if you had seen Rampage, and you had seen kind of like the kind of movie that Uwe Boll makes when he's trying to be like a fucking a bad boy, and then he makes like, because this is Citizen Vigilante is him trying to be a bad boy also, but it's just less successful. And
and I mean, again, I wanted this to be good. I was trying really hard. I mean, maybe that's also why I'm kind of forgiving, but
well, I think the reason why you're forgiving is because you like seeing Muslim migrants getting blown away.
Yeah, that's true.
I understand.
I want somebody who has intelligence and better filmmaking skills to take on this subject. We just need to combine that level of filmmaking, like the filmmaking skill of a Wes Anderson, but with the bravado of Uwe Boll, and combine them together to make the ultimate citizen vigilante movie.
I didn't realize you were a Wes Anderson fan.
I don't think I am, but that was just the name that popped in my head.
Good director, Wes Anderson.
Like who's a good director? I mean, other than yourself, who's a good director alive today who can handle a good vigilante movie?
Fucking Timo.
Oh yeah, okay. He
friend of the show.
Kind of disappeared after the Nobody 2.
He's doing Beekeeper 2 right now. He's doing sound for it. I'll tell you a story about that. Actually, me and him talked on the phone the other day, or actually yesterday, and he told me some funny gossip. But I'm not going to tell it. I'm not going to put him on blast.
Will Timo is he ready to do a anti-Muslim?
I mean, he is.
Is he ready to take on an anti-Muslim vigilante movie?
I mean, he's Indonesian, so like, I mean, he comes from a Muslim country.
That's what I'm saying.
So it might be, I don't know, it might be funny. It might be funny.
He might not be able to go back home.
Yeah, exactly. Like they're throwing cabbages at his plane when it lands. There he is. He's in seat A12. Get him. And then, no, but like, I mean, I don't know. Maybe he's kind of like, maybe Indonesian Muslims are kind of like, yeah, you know, those fucking
European Muslims are disgusting.
Yeah, those Muslims from like Northern Africa are fucking shitty. I don't like them either. They're giving us cool Muslims a bad name.
Blacks from Africa hate blacks from America.
Like and vice versa. Yeah.
Or like the Mexicans who live here hate the Mexicans who live in Mexico.
It's just a shame, you know. It's just such a shame.
That's the way it is.
Do white people hate, European white people? Or sorry, do American whites hate European whites? Well, it depends. You know, for example, Americans famously hate the French.
Oh yeah, that used to be a thing.
It still is a thing. People hate the French.
But it's not. I mean, it's not like it's not enough to keep Americans out of France. Like it's not like, oh, we hate France, so we're never going to, like, people still go to fucking France.
Yeah, it's true. How many Black Americans are visiting fucking the Congo Republic?
Exactly. What's the Paris of Africa?
the Paris of Africa? Well, Paris, France is the Paris of Africa these days. We got to get Citizen Vigilante true. Paris. Dude, I bet you that's what it's going to be. It's going to be like the next Uwe Boll movie. Once he gets like his next budget from his Israeli investors, it's going to be like Citizen Vigilante : and then it'll be like Paris. You know what I mean?
I was just thinking too. It's kind of funny that like, because Armie Hammer just like literally, like, this is literally his, like, what, his first role since being accused of being a cannibal.
Yeah, so stupid.
So being like a psychopath cannibal, and so like the first thing he does is play a psychopath.
It's not going to be good. It's not going to be good for his career. And you know what? I was going to say this before, and I'm glad that we kind of came back to it, and I remembered, because it really does show. It really does show how a director, the influence that he has upon the performance of an actor. Because, like, I only know Armie Hammer from Call Me by Your Name, and
I never saw that.
You never saw that?
Nope.
Oh, okay. Are you afraid of
the only thing I've seen him in was the fucking Social Network?
Oh, that's right, and he's good in that.
The Winklevoss twins,
right? Yeah, he's good in that. I think he's.
I just remember he was in it. I don't remember anything really about it.
Well, I remember that in that role he's good because he's sort of detestable, and then in Call Me by Your Name, he plays sort of this guy who. Say what?
He's lovely.
He's a lovely man, but
he's delicious.
He's good in that movie. He's like the romance between him and Timothée Chalamet is like.
It's just delightful.
Oh, yeah, okay, we get it. You're not gay. Jesus Christ, who are you trying to convince, me or yourself? But I don't know.
I just like doing that voice.
Oh my God, Timothy, you're so spread your ass
call me
cheeks
by your
up.
name.
Yeah,
I love it.
Let me eat your cum.
5 eggplants.
Yeah.
From
he's good in that movie. God damn it! I don't care what you say. But then, like,
all right, I'll take your word for it because I'll never see it.
Yeah, so I didn't watch no goddamn fag movie. But
exactly.
But
except for cruising.
Right. Yeah, that's what.
That's the first and last gay movie everyone needs to see.
I don't think that I'd be telling tales out of school. I think that he was public about it. But my friend Bruce LaBruce really doesn't like Call Me by Your Name. He doesn't like anything that normalizes or makes an attempt to normalize a gay relationship.
I think John Waters kind of has that. I remember seeing him discuss this, but I feel like he is of the same, or he used to be of the same ilk. Like he thought that same way. That, like, I remember when the whole gay marriage thing was going on, and he was kind of like, "The fuck? Why do you want to get fucking married for? Like, and be normal? Like, what the fuck is wrong?" Like, he just saw he was disgusted by, like, anything that made being gay normal seemed to disgust him.
That's exactly it. Like, it might have even been him who said it, but someone said it. Was like, when all those fucking gay guys were like fighting cops in San Francisco or whatever,
right.
Like they were fighting for the right to be different. Like they were fighting for their right to not do the normal thing, the normal right. Societal expectation. They were fighting for the right, like, to exist in the fringe. Like, let us do our own fucking weird thing. And we just don't want to be persecuted for it. They were not fighting for the mainstream extending itself.
Acceptance.
Yeah, exactly. And for us to be sort of incorporated into the mainstream status quo melting pot. And I think that the old gays like Bruce and John Waters are kind of like they're the guys from Cruising. Like they're those guys in those bars. Like,
well, I mean, even like I've never seen any Bruce movies, but I've seen plenty of John Waters, and everybody in the John Waters movie is fucking disgusting. All the gays are disgusting. Everybody's disgusting. Everybody's fringe. Everybody's, there's no. And that's something that happens in a lot of films now. It's just like this normalization of like, oh, you see, gays are normal people too, and gays are just like you and me, and that's not fun.
What do you call that shit when you go off on a tangent? This little tangent. What I meant to say is,
what do you call it when you go off on a tangent?
I went off on a tangent trying to remember what the word tangent was. But I was going to say that you look at something like a good example of a direct, like, sort of an actor's performance being really dictated by a director, or rather just influenced by a director, is The Master by Paul Thomas Anderson, and Joaquin Phoenix playing the character in that. versus
Mm-hmm.
Joker, the Joker, directed by I forget who, that guy,
Christopher Nolan.
No, not Christopher Nolan. What's his name? The guy,
Nightmare Before Christmas guy.
Tim Burton.
Tim Burton.
No,
Which
it's
Joker are you talking about?
the one with Joaquin Phoenix. It's like, Todd Phillips.
Todd Phillips.
Yeah,
I never saw that.
yeah. So he directed what, like The Hangover?
The director of Hated.
Hated?
Todd Phillips directed Hated.
There's a movie called Hated?
Yeah, with G.G. Allen.
Oh yeah, look at that.
You never saw that?
No.
You should watch it.
All right. He also directed Old School, the Will Ferrell movie.
Oh yeah. And he directed Chicken Hawk.
Yep. And he also directed
The Hangovers movie.
Starsky and Hutch, the Starsky and Hutch movie with Ben Stiller and Owen Wilson. But anyways, all I'm trying to say is that, like, the character in Joker that Joaquin Phoenix plays and the character in The Master that Joaquin Phoenix plays are actually very similar. But it's just so much richer in The Master than it is in Joker. Like, it just feels so surface level and so, like, superficial and low. What's the best? I guess I've already said it. Superficial, and then the Master, there's just like a lot more richness and depth to it. And what does that come down to? Does that? I guess it's got to come down to just the director, or like what he was eating that day.
I guess. I'm assuming that the actor plays a role.
The actor does play the role, but that's the point I'm trying to make, is that it's the same actor in both movies. The character is very similar. Like the behavior of the character is very similar. So what's the fucking the remaining variable? It's the director, right? I guess you could say the script, but I just said that the character is similar. So I always think about that, because you always just think, oh yeah, the actor is the one who has to do the fucking acting. And then here we go. We got fucking Armie Hammer, who's like got as much fucking charisma as a fucking log in Citizen Vigilante. And meanwhile, in Call Me By Your Name, I want to fucking eat his load.
Well, that's because he's got. I feel like you said. I feel like the script has a lot to do with it. You can have similar characters, but if the script isn't there, the lines aren't as the lines that the actor is saying aren't as intelligent or interesting, it's going to have an effect.
People are gonna.
I've only seen The Master. I've not seen The Joker.
I've only seen The Mask with Jim Carrey. Somebody,
I have to say that I'd rather watch The Mask than The Master.
Are you kidding me? You don't like The Master?
I was disappointed. I
thought it was great.
I do appreciate the beginning. I think the beginning when he was kind of like on the, in the Navy or whatever. And then like when he goes and gets a job as a photographer at the department store, that's all good stuff. But I felt at some point things kind of go off the rails and just kind of drift away into nothing.
I don't know. I think it's a great buddy movie.
But I do feel like his performance in it is at least the beginning was very good. But yeah, I can't say I like the movie.
It's the Fox and the Hound.
I didn't see that either.
Oh. All right. Well,
Dumb and Dumber.
Is there anything? Yeah, or Dumb and Dumber. Is there anything left to say on this episode? I'm not sure.
I got to go eat my girlfriend, so I'm hungry.
Do you say you got to go eat your girlfriend?
Yeah, is that going to get me in trouble?
Well, it got Armie Hammer in trouble.
Oh, that's what I'm worried about.
Right. All right. Well, go ahead and send me the file, and I'll put together the episode and put it up ASAP.
All right.
All right. See you later.
Bye.
Bye.